Hi everyone, it's Janette here from Kay's Flower School, and today we have a top tip. So I've done lots of videos on Germini or mini gerbils, and most times when I have the Germini, they're actually wrapped in plastic when they come in from our supplier. But sometimes different suppliers or different times of the year, it's all actually to do with the growers, sometimes they come in on a racket, a tennis racket as we call it, and sometimes that can be lying down in a box and people are unsure what way to do it. The idea of the box, okay, by them coming in this way, is that they can be supported. I just see one of the stems are broke here, I'll just take that one off, but that they can be supported while they have their first drink. Helps to keep the stems straight, you know, that way, and it saves you having to wrap them up with the brown paper. Some of the flower shops actually have buckets. If you can imagine like a coat hanger frame, so there's a metal coat hanger frame, stands up, like it kind of grips onto the buckets, and then you can drop this tennis racket down on top of it. This black vase that I have here, this is a vase that I suggest to my students, you know, the way that they could buy in. When they're purchasing in the buckets for storing their flowers, I always show this vase as well. Because I'll show you, if I get these Germini, and I'm just going to cut about an inch off them on a slant here at the bottom, okay? And I already have my bucket of water, which the bucket has been sterilised and there's flower food in it already. You'll see then the way I'm able to place them into the water. And this little racket, there you go, just fits, you see, perfect on top. Just move that head down there a little bit. I'll just tilt it just so that you can see it. I don't tilt it over too far or the water will spill. So that's an ideal way, you know what I mean, of getting your Germinis. But you don't always have that choice. Like sometimes, so make sure you watch some of the other videos where I show you when they just come in plastic. Most times when I show you the Germini, they're all the one colour. But just for a change this week, we bought in the Germini, and you can see there there's 3 or 4 mixed shades. The pink, the lemons, the reds and the orangey colours. So there's approximately 5 or 6 of each shade. Now say for some of you at home that haven't got these tall vases, or maybe the time that you buy them in, they're not in the racket. I'm going to show you another way of treating them, okay? So take them out. Oh, by the way, if they did come in the racket, how you get each flower, I'm going to hold it this way here, is kind of get your fingers like a fork, and individually, you see, take out each flower. It's a little bit time consuming, and you have to be careful that you don't break one. You've seen already there was one broken, even though I hadn't actually went near them, they had just been delivered. So individually, like kind of you're holding the flower by the actual flower head, you know what I mean? So your finger is kind of acting like a fork, and you get good at it that you can nearly take 3 or 4, you see like what I'm doing there, out at the same time. But like make sure that you're kind of like confident about it before you do that. At the beginning, just take one out at a time, right? So take out all your flower heads. Now, if they were in the plastic bag, all you would have to do, I'm just going to throw that in the bin there, all you would have to do is take the plastic off them. You often hear me talking about the brown paper, okay? And it's if you don't have the frame to support the flowers while they have their first drink, and you just get them and you stick them into a vase of water, there is a chance that the heads can go over. So what I like to do is support them. And while you're wrapping them in the brown paper, maybe wrap them in the numbers that you think you might use them in. In other words, if they were roses, you might wrap them in dozens, because there's a good chance that you'd use a dozen roses. Chances are with the Germini, you're probably going to use them in 3s or 5s, okay? So have them in 5 here. So get your 5 heads, kind of get all the heads near enough the same height. A small little piece of brown paper. Wrap it securely around the stems. Don't have the brown paper too long, because what happens is you're wrapping for ages, okay? Wrap it around. Secure it with a little piece of sellotape, okay? And now push it up, see, to the top of the heads there, and that'll give them a little bit of support. I'll do it now, say, to the pink ones. I'm keeping all the same heads together. So it means then, when I'm going to make an arrangement, I'm going to use these for like cheap little basket arrangements. And I just bought in the different colours, because I have some short stem cheap roses in, and they work together, they will. So make sure you check out them videos. So again, I'm just wrapping it around, putting a little piece of sellotape on it, and again, pushing the brown paper up around the heads to secure them. And we have, the orange one is broke already, so we'll just do our 4 orange ones. That's a gorgeous shade of orange. And I've actually a beautiful orange rose in that will work really well with this. And some green Santini chrysanthemums. It'll be a little bit kind of Patrick's Day colours, green, white and orange, put a bit of white dip in through it. But it'll look well. And again, you can press that up or tighten that up around it. What you can then do is to be sure, just my pink one has come loose there. To be sure, you could use the little gerbil tablets, which I haven't got a hand to show you, but I've showed you in other videos. You could use the quick dip to make sure that you got rid of any of the air that's in the stem, and I've done that in my videos on the treatment of roses, so check them out on the blog. You could use the boiling water treatment, you know, like with your paper cup, and again I've demonstrated that on the blog when I was treating the roses, okay? So you can do all that to get rid of any airlock in the stem as an extra security, okay? Otherwise, have your vase of water ready. Have your flower food added to the water. Because there's a time delay from you cutting the flowers there previously, I'm just going to take another lid off the end of them, place them down into your vase. As this is a tall vase, you can see they went down there that little bit further. I'll just drop it down. And that's it. Leave that paper on for the first hour while they're having their drink, and then you'll find that your Germinis will stand up straight. Best of luck. If you have any comments, any questions, put them in the comments below.